loves. So I wanted to get on here, and I feel my, like, the ancestral wisdom alive and well within me. And so I wanted to sit and see what came through. I feel as if I can see, it's like I can see us all now. The vision that was given to me a couple of weeks ago was I could see all the innocent children, all of us. And if you're here watching this, you're one of them, running around. And I don't mean there is no separation, but there are some people that are not ready for this message just yet. And that is okay. In divine timing, they will receive this message and they will be watching this. And it could be that you're here a year down the way and you are exactly on time and you're exactly where you need to be in the divine master plan. And so just by showing up and listening, you're doing your part. And so I thank you and I honor you for being here today. But the vision that I see is, if now those of us that are here, we'll say the wild ones, but we were also the ones that have probably been in addiction in a lot of different forms. We all know what addiction can look like. For me personally, it was alcohol and shopping. And it can look like drugs, it can look like sex, it can look like just addiction to the TV, addiction to our phones. And there's so many different ways that this can play out. None is better or worse than the other. It just is what it is. We're just looking at addiction because we didn't know how to fully embody and become alive again, because the old system that was in place, we felt like we didn't belong. And so now that the dismantling of the old is happening, we finally now are like in this place where we're going, like, we can come out, like, we're safe, we're okay, and we're safe to be seen, we're safe to be heard, we're safe to be experienced. And if you're not quite there just yet, I would ask that you see where you're still holding on to fear in coming out of who you really are, and go sit with that space. The memory that pops up is what is the message being delivered for you. So go sit in that space and offer some love. You know exactly what you want to hear, what you would like someone else to say to you. So go back and give that offering to yourself with love and with compassion and grace. Please forgive yourself, because we know not what we do. And then move through that scar with love and with conviction of getting to the other side. So I wanted to sit here and offer this space of, it feels as if the feminine, the healing of the feminine is coming through very prominent. And so let's see what happens. This is always for our highest and best good and the highest good of all, in service to the divine Mother, Father, God. There is no separation. We are all one. We are all family. We would like to thank you for the work and the dedication that you have chosen to experience in this lifetime. We understand that being here on earth in this magnitude of expansion, the awakening of humanity, is what could be perceived in the old system as hard and frustrating and painful. However, we would like to bring to your awareness that in the God's plan, the grand master plan, that we have chosen to be here to experience the extreme polarities of emotion, the extreme polarities of light and dark. For without the darkness, we could not fully allow ourselves to experience the greater capacities of ecstasy, of bliss, of pure excitement for life. It is because we have been through our pain, our heartbreak, our separation, that we remember what true family feels like, soul family feels like, that pure connection where you can go there and you can be vulnerable. We are recognizing each other all over the place. It's as if we are peeking out from all over the places and saying, hi, I see you. Thank you for being here. I felt like I was alone in this world, and now I know I'm not. But you also must feel safe enough to step out into that place to be seen. And as Jennifer, we will call her to speak, I can share very, very honestly, I had this nervousness of really stepping out and sharing my authentic truth and sharing the visions and the dreams and the experiences that I had had, because I didn't know how people would take it. And I didn't know how they would perceive kind of my weirdness or my extremities, if you will. And I was speaking with a client this morning, and she said something about, we're just over here living the ordinary life. And I was like, I'm living the extraordinary one. But when we allow ourselves to go there, we allow ourselves to feel the full, like, it's almost like rainbows are coming out at this moment. We feel the full aliveness that life has to offer. And then it's quite honestly like a magic carpet ride where we allow life to take us exactly where we need to be, knowing that every moment is exactly where we need in life. We're needing this moment of clarity, of truth, of promise, of reconciliation, of sometimes the trigger moment, so that we can move through the trigger, we can move through the scar with that healing balm of our words. And when we allow our words to speak the truth that we wish to hear, then we nourish the scar. And so I can speak from that honestly, because I have been experiencing and I've been stepping out there, but the people that I meet now, it is amazing, the fireworks that we feel when we get it. We see each other and we're like, wow, this is amazing. Everything you said was spot on, and the words that you speak and the feeling that I get. And so it's quite beautiful. I'll go back in and see what else comes through. It is wonderful to have each and every individual experiencing new life, profound moments of living the extraordinary life, allowing all senses, allowing your sensory perception beyond the norm to come alive in all ways, and allowing your divine gifts to be expressed in those ways. The old system would have you believe that something is wrong with you, and my darlings, we are here to remind you that you were created exactly as the divine master plan, to alchemize the pains of others, to sit in forgiveness for the way others choose to judge, to honor them for the pain that they have yet to sit with, to see them with grace and with loving eyes and loving intent, and to then radiate that love out for others to experience, is the divine blessing, to love and be loved. But we would like to point out that you must love yourself first. You must love yourself the way God created you and the way God intended for you to love. When you speak, I am, what do you speak of yourself? To speak of yourself in the first person, the I am presence, meaning the kingdom of heaven and God is within you. What does that mean for you? Have you bear witness to the words that you speak about yourself or the words that you speak onto others? If we can be aware and observe these moments, we can then grasp the truth of where we need to work. The more that we as a collective become aware of this, and the more that we begin to harmonize these places, The polarity, if you will, the pendulum swing gets shorter and shorter and shorter until we are in divine union, the dance and the conception, the immaculate conception, where two become one, and the grand solar flash of that conception moment ignites the fire within us. We come alive again, alive and well in the divine, as was always planned. So we ask that if you are still experiencing turbulence, that you sit in the turbulence and figure out what emotion you are working with. We have spoken of this before. Figure out what emotion you are working with. Find out where this emotion began in your life, where it was introduced, who in the playing field of your existence did you see portray these characteristic traits around the emotion, and make the decision to surrender the emotion with love, inviting more grace, compassion to come into your life, inviting more safety, protection, if that's what you are wishing to come into your life. And then, as you see fit, we would humbly ask that you keep your eyes open, because ask it is given. A lot of times you ask for these messengers and then you are stuck in your own ways and you choose not to see the messenger standing right in front of you. So we ask that you be aware in your external reality of the messages that could potentially trigger you. They are playing on a heartstring so that you can hear the music, the undertones, potentially the overtones, the shadow frequency and the light frequency, the codes and the harmonics that exist in the presence of the divine, the presence of God. And that flatline moment of death and rebirth is the recognition of the shadow, the undertones of the moment of heartbreak or pain or suffering or loss or any emotion that still triggers you. Self-doubt has been one that Miss Jennifer has been working with for a while. And truly stepping into divine clarity. 100% in. I saw myself swan diving into the ocean yesterday, and as I was doing that, I was like, oh, we're 100% all in. There's no going back now. No going back now. So, side note. Being honest with yourself. A lot of times we put on the masks of saying we are fine, even though we know deep down we are not fine. We ask humbly that you sit with the parts of you that are still hurting, that need the full nourishment of your soul's divine essence, and then go there. Go there for yourself. Go there. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. It is the shadow. The shadow is the parts of us that are unhealed, the wounded parts of us. And when we walk through that crevasse, if you will, we walk through that valley. The valley is our scar. As you walk and as you speak words of love for yourself through the divine, I love you. I care for you. I am accepting of you. I appreciate you. I love you forever. I am always here for you. You speak these words if you allow them to feel them in your fullest capacity. And maybe you're not ready to feel them in that fullest expression just yet. Maybe you only allow an ounce at a time, little dropper fulls, knowing that you are nourishing. We ask that when the emotion starts to surface and the old system would have you want to swallow it back down or act like nothing's wrong, we ask that in that moment you recognize the invitation to set something free. That is the invitation to surrender the pain. Your tears of mother, of Mama Gaia, the tears from the heavens, the tears from your heavens rain down and nourish your soul. You see, there is no separation. The tears that fall down from the heavens cleanse the grand master plan. When we learn to work with it, realizing that we are the speck of dust and we are so all the stars, and we are the stars, the cosmos, because we were created in the divine master plan. God has a plan for everyone. We begin to see the world differently. We can see the world with clear eyes, realizing that to experience the ultimate loving, compassionate embrace of the divine must mean for some people that the only way they will move is to hit rock bottom. That is not something that we love for anybody to experience. However, the human race has chosen to experience these events so that they can learn. That is a hard truth we completely understand. And if this is triggering you, we ask that you be aware in this coming week or month that you hear the still small voice of the whispering messages that are trying to get your attention. When you speak it out, do you hear the disruption in your voice? When you speak something out and you hear yourself saying, I get it, I know, we offer the awareness that that could potentially be an underlying wound or scar that you now get to go back and love and nourish in the tenderness of the Divine Mother. The Divine Mother holds us so sacredly. Her love is unending. It is pure. It is wise. She is the ocean. She is the fire. She is the movement of creation. She is the energy in motion. We are fully alive and aware in this moment that that makes people uncomfortable. That is how far we have come from our divine medicine. There has been so much slander on the feminine to silence, to hush, to ridicule, to push aside, to demonize, to murder, to rape, to quiet. There is a outstanding list. And it is now in this time that the divine feminine is coming back to life in each and every soul. That is why you are experiencing such turbulence in your sacred space, because the wounds run deep. The wounds are generational. If you can think as an individual how far back the silencing has been going on of women, the feminine, not being able to use their voice, not being able to speak up about the truth, being dominated by a power trip, if you will. We understand that this system was taken over, and now this system is no more. It is a blessed reassurance. The only thing that you now as individuals must work through is the dismantling of the old system and healing your ancestral lineage. Coming back home to freedom and clarity, to our divine roles here on earth, to be the lighthouses, to be the way showers, to be the trailblazers, to be the truth speakers, to be the wisdom keepers, to be the key holders. There are so many terms. It is just your creative magic, your creative blessings, whichever way you would like to view it. If you are coming from a spiritual standpoint, you might call it magic. If you are coming from a old religious standpoint without the constructs of separation, you may call it blessings. It is one and the same. Love is an experience. It is a feeling. It is a movement through our bodies. It is the sacred stronghold that is interlocked in the divine masculine and feminine, embracing each other in the fullest capacities of love. That feeling that you get, that safety that you feel when you're around somebody, the protection that you feel when you're around somebody, that is the invitation to bring it back to life within you. And then what is alive and well in you, you dance and frolic in life as the freedom being that you were born to be. The sovereignty that reigns supreme. Authenticity reigns supreme. We wear the crowns in this era. The golden age is here and now. The transmutation, the divine alchemy of the DNA codes is alive and well. And if you are watching this, you are one of them. The chosen is the individuals that choose to walk the path. The path is not easy. We know this. However, the path is the way and the truth and the life coming back to light and life within. There is no separation. Seeing each and every person, individual, with loving eyes, with forgiveness, with compassion and grace, because that is the way God would have it be. You may choose free will. You may choose the divine will. The divine will is listening intently. The divine will is sitting in prayer and meditation every single day so you can hear the messages that are coming through, so that you can then speak the word that we are asking that you give. You can deliver messages. Each individual person is here as messengers. There is no better or worse. Everybody is a messenger. Depending on where they are on the spectrum is the messages that they are delivering. If you choose to look that with grace, choose to see them as a version of you, it will make the road quite less bumpy. But you do have free will, and you can choose the twists and turns and cycles as long as you wish. And we love you no matter what you decide. There is no judgment. There is no shame. There is no guilt in any of this playing field. And if you are still holding on to that, we ask with love, with grace, that you surrender those emotions, because they were never yours to carry. Surrender them with grace. Surrender them with love, because you know that you are worthy of so much more. We are all divine children of God. Mother, Father, God, source, creation. And giving honor back to the feminine, because she births new. The field of creation comes forward through the divine in all forms. That may be a human form. That may be your creation form. That may be your writing form. That may be your business form. That may be relationships form. They are all part of the creation. And when we truly allow the feminine, the wisdom, the words of wisdom to speak through us, the creation becomes a blast. The creation becomes exhilarating. The creation becomes the dance. It is exuberant bliss. Allow yourself to feel. Some of you may not even be able to grasp those terms. We ask that you look them up and then decide in your playing field that you would like to feel those. We will remind you that the only way to feel those, as if you are on a ladder and you have chains hooked up to a lower frequency. You must go in, find that lower frequency. We would invite you for the first couple for shame and guilt. Unlock from those, set those free with love, and then allow yourself to experience a higher playing field. Because if you see your body standing tall on a ladder, Jacob's ladder, if you will, the only way to step higher is to unhook lower. You cannot have one without the other. You may experience the higher realms through medicine, plant-based medicine, and we honor that. However, to fully experience and embody the feeling that you are trying to get with the plant-based medicine, you must do the work within. Because you will continue to chase that high externally outside of you, wondering why you can never embody it fully within, is because the code, the lock, the key is still somewhere where you are afraid to go. We ask that you ask fear to step aside, and with grace and love, ask for guidance as you take the dive. That is the only way to get to the key, the lock, to unhook it. It is you versus you. You may ask for guidance. Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, you may ask for guidance. They are always there. They are willing to support and assist. Ask your ancestors to come in and guide you. Ask that your day be wrapped in unconditional and unselfish love. Send your day out with blessings every morning and allow the doors to open. Ask that you have clarity on the path to take, and that when you feel a moment of uncertainty, you ask, why am I uncertain? And then you move through that uncertainty instead of allowing it to stop you in your tracks. We know that this uncertainty has caused fear and paralyzation. Paralyzation. That doesn't sound right. Paralyzing. Paralyzing moments. And as long as you sit with them with love, you can move through them with grace. Baby steps is all it takes. But a baby step in the right direction is still a step. We humbly, humbly thank you for your time. Until next time. Ooh! We moving, we flowing over here. Yeah, I think that said it all. This is such a beautiful time to be alive as leaders, as forerunners, as trailblazers, as those of us not being afraid. And I believe that I mentioned it in the beginning of this video, but there are so many of us that just didn't feel like we fit in. We didn't love being in the box, but we felt like we needed to be in the box because we didn't want to upset anybody. We didn't want to shake the system. We didn't want to get in trouble again. So we just played in the box, and now we're like busting out the walls, and the walls are gone. And we're like, I can do it all. I can do whatever I want. I can try and experience, and I can write, and I can do artwork, and I can have my merchandise, and I can travel, and I can work from anywhere, and I can continue creating artwork, and I can have my books, and I can have my product line. I can have so many things, and I can have so many avenues in my tree of life. I can have so many different spaces that are lucrative for myself, for yourself, when you allow yourself to go there. And so, my dear, I just ask that you stop playing small and you allow yourself to do the dang thing and face whatever it is that you have been worried about or that has been bothering you, that you believe that is keeping you stuck, because that is where the magic is, oh, it's so magical. It's such a blessing. It's so splendid. It's so divine. Whatever term you want to put on it. So I love you so very much. It's an honor and a blessing. I am Jennifer Renee. This is Within by Jen. It's within you. It always has been. And I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah, mwah, mwah.